Welcome to Neosho Wildcat Baseball, live on KNEO.org. This broadcast is a sporting outreach of the KNEO Sports Network. You're now locked into the official pregame show of the Neosho Wildcats. Now let's go to the game site for all the action.
Get this ball game underway.
People's Bank of Seneca. People's Bank of...
Just start it all over again. I don't know what else to do. And good evening, afternoon, Wildcat fans. John Ball and Matt Ball with you. We are at the Marion Family Complex. We are ready to
Hi, this is Pastor Mike from Calvary of Neosho, and I want to take a few moments to give you hope today. Are you feeling overwhelmed with the daily struggles of affording rent, paying for groceries, buying gas? I want you to know that there is a God who is big enough to handle all these problems and bring you relief. He wants you to live free from worry and stress. James 4:2 says, "You have not because you ask not." Have you asked God to help you today? For KNEO Radio, I'm Mike Leake. Hi, I'm Pastor Mike of Calvary of Neosho, and I want to take a minute to share grace with you today. And what is grace? Grace is when someone gives you something that you don't deserve. I haven't done anything to deserve God's forgiveness, but He gives it by His grace. I haven't done anything to deserve God's love, but He gives it by His grace. I haven't done anything to deserve a bright future, but God has made a way for me to have one by His grace. Titus 2 says, "The grace of God has appeared that offers salvation to all people." Have you accepted that gift of grace? For KNEO Radio, I'm Mike Leake.
Hi, I'm Pastor Jeremy Bridges with the Canopy Church, and I want to take 30 seconds today to encourage you to pray. Because our prayers have the power to move heaven. James 5 says the prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective. When we pray, God listens. When we pray, situations can change. When we pray, miracles can happen. And heaven moves on our behalf, simply because we pray. Take some time today and pray. For KNEO Radio, I'm Jeremy Bridges.
Hi, I'm Barry Reel with First Free Will Baptist Church of Neosho, and I want to give you some encouragement today. None of us are perfect, but sometimes we feel like we have messed our lives up so badly that even God can't fix us or help us. I want to assure you that's not the case. In Romans 8:28, we read that God causes all things to work together for good to those who love Him and are called according to His purpose. That means that God can even use your mistakes to do good in your life. I want to encourage you to trust God and let Him give you peace about your past, a purpose in your present, and hope for your future. With KNEO Radio, this is Barry Reel.
In a sense, we all live in earthquake zones. Sometimes things in our world are shaken by forces we can't control. It might be one of those times in your life right now. Life's quakes remind us how breakable and vulnerable we are. You were made for a relationship with Jesus Christ. Only through Him can you be safe for all eternity. He proved it by His blood when He died on the cross to pay for every sin you've ever committed. To learn more, call 888-NEED-HIM.
Hi, I'm Barry Reel with the First Free Will Baptist Church of Neosho. And if you're watching the game tonight, you probably like winners. You probably want your team to win, and I understand that. Every game's going to have a winner and a loser, but I want to encourage you in life to find the winning team. Jesus Christ is leading the winning team, and He wants you on His team. Joshua says that we have to choose which side we're going to be on. He says, choose you this day who you're going to serve. So I want to encourage you, along with Joshua in the Old Testament, to choose a team to serve. Call out on the Lord today. Talk to Him, trust Him, and see what He'll do in your life. I want to encourage you to choose the winning team. That's Jesus' team. I hope it'll be your team. For KNEO Radio, this is Barry Reel.
Welcome back to the Marion Complex. We're going to start this segment out with Keys for the Cats. Keys for the Cats is sponsored by State Farm Eric Norris in Neosho, located at 437 West Kohler Street in Neosho. Eric and his team offer a variety of insurance services for individuals and businesses. Learn more online at ericnorrisinsurance.com or by phone at 417-451-6666. All right, we start off, Matt, with the word letter S. S stands for similar. This ball club is like last year's ball club, but it is similar as well. And one of the things that we want to do is we want to make sure that everybody is doing what they need to be doing tonight, coming into the series, which is so very, very important after we went to Florida, we really got to know each other well. And to my point, there is one person on the infield that was the same infielder last year, and that's Jaden Fisher. He's playing second base. Tevin Beaver is at first base. Greg Harville is at shortstop. Colton Harville is at third base. Aiden McCoy is behind the plate, and Cooper Charlton is on the mound. Those are all names that we've never really heard, so we want to give them an opportunity, and taking on Pittsburgh this early in the year is a great opportunity for these guys to continue to know each other, to take care of each other, to watch what they're doing, have each other's back. And we'll hear that as we bring them up. By the way, we want you to stay tuned for the post-game show. We will have Coach Keith Kilgore up here, and hopefully we'll have a player or two up here as well towards the end of the ball game. But that's really important. The next thing we've got to do is we've got to start fast. We start off with Drake Jennings, a center fielder. There's a name that we know from last year.
Yep.
And he gets on base, and then we're going to use some speed. We've got Colton Arville, and then, as we said, we've got Beavers who plays first base. That'll be coming up. So we've got some speed, and we know what to do in order to get things across. The next thing we've got to do is be able to get runners all the way around second to third base. Ducks on the pond is vitally important. And from there, we've got to put the barrel of the bat on the ball. We put the barrel of the bat on the ball, and one of the things that we know about Coach Kilgore's teams is they have the ability to hit to the opposite field. What does that mean? If we've got a runner on second base, we may very well want to see someone hit the ball out to right field, because even if it's a fly ball, then that runner can tag up and he can get around to third base. I believe that that is going to be a premium for the Cats this year. And then the last thing that these Cats are going to have to do is they're going to have to be ready to help each other out. They're going to have to be able to know where they need to be able to throw the ball. Defensively, that has been one of our mainstays in the Keith Kilgore era, is to play defense and play it well. We do that by communicating. So communicating is vitally important. If we do that tonight, then unfortunately there's not a bell here to ring, but we'll go ding, 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 and we will appreciate everybody, and we will thank you for being at the ball game tonight, and the Cats will have a win.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, that's exactly what we do. We're going to take another time out. This is the pregame show. It's being brought to you by ProLube, your tire and auto maintenance center. We'll take this time out. We'll be back with the starting lineups, and we'll be ready to go. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Pastor Jeremy Bridges with the Canopy Church, and I want to give you some encouragement today. No matter how far you feel from God, right now, did you know He's never more than a prayer away? Psalm 145 says, "The Lord is near to all who call upon Him." If you need to reconnect with God today, He's just one prayer away. If you need to ask for forgiveness, He's just one prayer away. If you need God's help or guidance, all it takes is a prayer. If you haven't talked to God in weeks and you know your relationship with Him isn't as it should be, cry out to Him. It's just one prayer away. And if salvation is what you need, ask Him. He's just one prayer away. Have you talked to God today? He's waiting to hear from you. For KNEO Radio, I'm Jeremy Bridges.
My name's Pastor James for the Neosho Church of the Nazarene. Just have a privilege here to share with you a word of encouragement today. You know, in the world in which we live, people are always making plans. We're trying to navigate through life, and sometimes life can be kind of complicated and rather layered as we're trying to figure out direction and trajectory and all of these things. But the Bible tells us to commit all of our plans to the Lord, to trust in the Lord with all our heart, to lean not on our own understanding, to acknowledge Him in all our ways, and He will make our path straight. I'm a firm believer that the Lord has incredible plans for our lives, and so many times we deviate from those because we get to chasing after all of these other things that are out there in the world. The Bible tells us that before we were even born, that the Lord had things that He wanted our lives to accomplish. And so I would just encourage all of you today, and I don't think it's by accident that you've stumbled across this video, and I would just encourage you to seek the Lord, to lean in and to find out what He has for your life, because I promise you that will be the best life that you could live. May the Lord bless you. Hope you have a wonderful day.
So, you believe in God. That means you'll go to heaven, right? Well, that depends on how you define the word believe. Billy Graham.
The Bible says the devil believes and trembles, but the devil's not going to heaven. You can believe in God. You can believe in Christ. You can believe in the church. You can believe in the Bible, but that won't get you to heaven. It's more than that. The word believe means to commit. It means to surrender. I'm asking you tonight to commit, to stand on, to receive Christ as your Lord and your Master and your Savior. Let Him forgive the past, give you a new dimension of living. Write your name on the book of life. Make sure you're going to heaven.
If you're ready to take that step and believe that Jesus is your Savior, let's talk now at 855-255-PRAY. 855-255-PRAY. We're the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association.
Have you ever felt burdened, broken, or worthless? The other day I was digging through my wallet and came across an old wrinkled $20 bill. If I offered you that bill, would you take it? No matter what I do to it, that $20 bill has value because of what it is, not how it looks or where it's been. You may feel worthless, but you're not. You still have value to Jesus. To learn more, call 888-NEED-HIM or chat with us live at needhim.org.
This is Pastor James Keyser from the Neosho Church of the Nazarene, and just wanted to share a few thoughts with you today. You know, we live in a world where people are captivated by fear, worry, anxiety, and I understand that when folks don't have God in the center of their life, but when we're talking about the church, the Bible has so much to say that we should not worry, we should not fear, we should not be anxious about anything, but in prayer and supplication, bring all our requests to God, primarily because we know God cares about us. And at the end of the day, whether we want to acknowledge it or not, fear and worry, really at the very heart of it, it's a lack of faith and it's a lack of trust in God. I think it's a choice to choose to trust Him in the midst of uncertain and trying times. I really believe that's what God wants for our life. For KNEO Radio, this is Pastor James Keyser.
And welcome back to the Marion Complex. Neosho Wildcats getting ready to take on the Pittsburg Dragons. Purple Dragons, you bet. They are coached by head coach Troy Scribner. He's assisted by Dwayne Vaughn, Noah Vaughn, and Colin Hyatt. And they'll start off like this. They'll start off with their number 7 on his back. It's Cash O'Brien. He plays second base. Number 2 hitter is Landon Profit, the shortstop. Number 3 hitter is the pitcher, Beck Fern. The 4 hitter is the third baseman, Cole Hayden. Number 3 is the 5-hole hitter, Christian Cogan. He also plays center field. Number 6 hitter wears number 12 on his back, and that is Alex Hindenspecker, and he plays right field. First baseman will be hitting in the number 7 hole, number 23, and that's Kane Z. And then it'll be Max Bush, who is the catcher, and they'll round up with Jace Slavens. He will be playing in left field. For your Neosho Wildcats, coached by Coach Keith Kilgore, he is assisted by T. Hessel, Drew O'Brien, Jacob Galbraith, and the managers are Ashlyn Stevens, Linda O'Brien, and Norman Peters. We will be ready to start here in just a minute or two. You see that Coach Keith Kilgore is out there, and it looks like this for the Neosho Wildcats. Starting off is number 13. That is Drake Jennings. He'll be playing center field. Colton Harville, the third baseman, will be hitting second. Tevin Beavers is playing first base. He wears number 15. He'll be batting in the third hole, and the cleanup hitter will be number 3, Greg Harville, who is playing in the shortstop position. In the 5 hole will be Wyatt Woodden. He is playing in right field. He'll be followed by Cooper Charlton, who is the pitcher tonight, and the possibility of a designated hitter somewhere in there. Then the one name that we talked about, and we've continued to talk about, is number 1 in the 7 hole, and that is Jaden Stevens. He'll be playing second base. Jaden Fisher, and then it will be Adrian McCoy behind the plate for the Cats, and Logan Hearn We'll be ready to get this ball game going here in just a couple of minutes. We'll take another quick timeout. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back right after this.
The Neosho R5 School District is committed to shaping the future, one student at a time. From academics to athletics, we empower our students to reach their full potential, installing values of hard work, teamwork, and integrity. We would like to thank you for tuning in to the broadcast today and cheering on our Wildcats. Our dedicated teachers, staff, and coaches work hand in hand to provide a well-rounded education that prepares students for success. Together, we're building a brighter tomorrow for our community. The Neosho R5 School District, where excellence thrives.
What does a culture of excellence look like? It looks like her, him, and them. It's where future educators, innovators, lifesavers, and global leaders call their home. It's a place where immersive learning environments can help empower students to command a future in their field. Come experience excellence at Missouri Southern State University.
Today's sporting event is being made available for your family by Chris Wright of Dig Right Equipment Rental, located just off Highway 49 at the Carterville exit by Casey's. Open Monday through Friday and Saturdays till noon with rentals of outdoor construction equipment and even attachments for your machines. Chris Wright of Dig Right Equipment Rentals is a proud supporter of today's game. 417-317-4995.
And welcome back. We're in the Marion Family Complex. John Ball, Matt Ball with you. We are getting ready to get this ball game underway. We've got some technical difficulties. There's no PA system out here, so we will get things going. Cooper Charlton's on the mound for the Neosho Wildcats. Hayden McCoy is behind the plate. They're taking their warm-up pitches. Jaden Fisher standing out at second base. Starting off for the Dragons from Pittsburg is Cash O'Brien. He plays second base and wears number 7. Then it'll be Landon Profit, the shortstop. Beck Fern, the pitcher, will be hitting in the 3-hole. Cole Hayden will be hitting in the 4 spot. He plays third base. Christian Krogan will be the center fielder, and he'll be hitting in the 5-hole. Alex Inspector will be playing right field. Kane C. will be playing first base. Max Bush and Jace Slavin will be ready to get this ball game going here in just a minute or two. You know, it's exciting to get baseball going, Matt. It may take us a minute or two to get going. We haven't done anything for about 3 weeks since basketball season is over.
We'll get back in the swing of it, ladies and gentlemen. Don't think we won't.
Yeah, it won't take us long, but we will be getting ready to get going. And here's the number 1 hitter, Cash O'Brien. He plays second base, wears number 7, and he steps in as he bats right-handed. Cooper Charlton looks down, and he sees that, looks to see what's going on, and here comes the first pitch, and there's a swung on, and it goes to third base. Harville up with it over to first base for the out.
It was a nice play.
Yeah, it was. It was a really nice play.
I can't believe he swung and hit on the first pitch.
Yeah, he did. Absolutely. That maybe tell us something about the Purple Dragons.
Could be some aggressive batters right now.
So 5-3, and we've got the first out to retire the side. And here is Logan Profit, the shortstop. First pitch is outside for a ball. Kind of steps right back in. Charlton from the wind. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, and it goes to Fisher at second base. Up with it over to first base, and there's retired the second one. So 5-1 or 5-3 and 4-3, and then there's 2 outs just like that. Here's the pitcher, Fern, and he's going to be batting from the left-hand side of the plate.
It's a pretty good sign that they're hitting his pitches, and that way it keeps everybody on their toes out there in the outfield and infield.
Yeah, he's a little bit different pitcher, and there is a long ball that goes to center field. Tracking it down out there is Drake Jennings, and he's got it, and the side is retired. So there were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We'll be right back after this. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
Compton CPA Group PC, located at 112 Northwood in Neosho, is a full-service accounting firm and is proud to support the Neosho Wildcats. Compton CPA Group PC can assist you at every stage of your financial life and help you work toward your financial goals. From tax preparation to bookkeeping services, Compton CPA Group PC has you covered. For all your tax and business affairs, call 417-451-2932 or learn more at ComptonCPAGroup.com.
Helping your teen learn smart money habits doesn't have to be complicated. First Community Bank's teen checking account is built for tweens and teens 11 and up with parents in mind. Teens get their own debit card, ATM access, and mobile check deposit, plus a bundle savings account to help them plan ahead. Parents get peace of mind with no monthly fees, parental debit card controls, alerts and notifications, joint ownership, and full account access. Stop by any First Community Bank location to open a teen checking account today. First Community Bank, where community comes first. Member FDIC. See bank for details.
Welcome back to the Marion Family Complex. Half an inning is out of the way. 3 up, 3 down for the Cats on 2 ground balls and a fly ball. And the Cats come up to bat. It'll be Jennings, Harville, and Beaver. And if anybody gets on, it'll be Greg Harville, the shortstop. Pitcher on the mound is Beck Flynn. And behind the plate is Max Bush. They're taking their warm-ups, and they'll get ready to go here in just a minute or two. You know, it looks like they're getting ready. They're going to throw the ball down to second base here in a minute or two. We're really glad to have you with us. We appreciate you joining us. Hopefully, you can get out here and watch the Cats, and you'll get a chance to support them in person. But if not, just stay real comfortable where you are, and we'll bring you the ball game play-by-play just as it happens. And the ball goes down to second base. Second baseman is O'Brien. He gets it and brings it around. And we're getting ready to start. Goes around the horn, and there it is. So,
all right.
Yeah, all right. So, Drake Jennings, the number 8 hitter. Drake Jennings, the number 8 hitter, is up there to start with, and he'll, batting from the right-hand side, takes a ball low and outside for ball 1.
Boy, that was
from
a fast
Fern.
pitch.
Yep. Well, the Cats retired the side on 5 pitches just a little while ago, and there's the first pitch, second pitch now, and that's leaving the count at 1-1. Here comes the third pitch from Hearn. That's swung on, and that's a base hit.
Nice.
Got through the infield. So the Cats are in business to start with.
It's a good single.
That was a good single. Sure was. And that's going to bring up Colton Harville, the third baseman. He looks down at third base at Keith Kilgore. T. Hissel is on first base down there on the far side. There's the first pitch, and it's a bunt, and we're going to play small ball to begin with. They get the ball back to the pitcher for the out, but Jake Jennings goes on down to second base. So 1-3, and there is 1 out.
That was a nice bunt right there, too.
It really was. It was a good bunt.
Right where Coach wanted it. He's applauding him.
Yep, it sure was. I've got this binging in my ear. I'm not sure where that's coming from, but Fern looks back, and he backs away for just a minute or two.
We're going to visit at the mound.
Yeah, we are. And catcher Bush comes right back and says, now we're ready to go. And Tevin Beaver steps in, first baseman. There's the first pitch, high and outside for a ball. Beautiful, beautiful afternoon.
Absolutely.
It is 68 degrees here. So we're excited to bring you the ball game, the first of the year at home. And there's a swung on, and that ball is going to be popped up, and the right fielder gives chase, but it is out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Free snow cone back in the day.
Hinstaffer was giving chase and was over there just as much as he could be, but it went into the bullpen. So that'll even the count at 1-1. Runner on second base, one out, and there is a call strike. Fern took a little bit something off of that one and kind of had Beavers just watching for just a minute, strike two, but I'm sure he's ready to go now. He's got his timing down. Here comes the next pitch, and that's inside and high. That'll even the count at 2-2.
Well, he just called that same pitch strike last time. Everybody's got to get their stuff going.
Yep, sure do. So Fern looks down, winds up, and there's a pitch, and it is swung on, and he turned on it a little bit, and it's foul down the third base line. So we'll do it again. Cats are in a great opportunity to start the ball game. They got a base hit from Jennings, and Harville bunted him over, and he's at second base. Now he has come over to third base. And here comes, Hearn looks over, here comes the pitch. Oh. Got him, and catcher does not get it. And
Safe.
The Cats score. Yeah, the Cats absolutely score. Nice heads-up play by Jennings. As soon as the catcher dropped the ball and threw it to first, Jennings came on in and scored. So there's 2 outs now.
Going to take that.
And that is the first strikeout of the night for Fern. And that brings up Gage Harville. He's batting left-handed. There's the first one, and he brings that back over, out of bounds, over towards left field. Foul ball, strike one. He steps back in there from the left-hand side. Cats have scored one, and there is another one that is hit. Looks like he's trying to take it to left field. It's a foul ball, strike two. Woodward and Charlton will be up if he gets on. Looked at that one. It was a little bit low and outside, and that'll be ball one. Cats did a good job. They got a base hit, and they bunted the runner over to second, and he turned around and went to third, and a heads-up play, and there's called strike three. So there were 2 strikeouts in that inning, but the Cats broke dirt first, and the score is 1-0 in favor of the Neosho Wildcats. We'll be back with the top of the second. You're watching the Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
Looking for extra space near Neosho? At 86 Mini Storage, we offer secure open parking for RVs, campers, and vehicles. Plus, we have a selection of storage units that can hold whatever you need. Conveniently located in Western Neosho with 24-hour access for our customers, and right now, your first month is free. To find out what spaces are currently available or request a unit, visit 86ministorage.com or call 417-621-1601.
A business impact partner of KNEO is ProLube Tire and Auto Center in Neosho. Serving the area since 2001, they're open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. ProLube Tire and Auto Center offers tire and brake repair, as well as transmission service, front-end alignments, and more. Located at 1406 North Business 49 in Neosho. For more information, 417-221-6795 or online at proluberepair.com.
Welcome back to the Marion Complex. The Neosho Wildcats up after 1 inning of play by the score of 1-0. It'll be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters, Cole, Krogan, and Hinspader. And here comes the first pitch from Cooper Charlton, and that is outside for ball one. Charlton kind of breezed through the first inning. I think he threw 5 pitches, and that's pretty economical if you ask me. Here comes the second one. Foul ball, strike one. That'll even the count at 1-1. The crowd's starting to come in a little bit more as the game started at 4:30, like most of our games will start at 4:30 this year in order to be able to get teams from wherever they might be home at a decent hour. So we will be starting at 4:30 in most of our home games. Here comes the next pitch from Charlton, and that is low and outside for a ball. So that counts 2 balls and a strike on the third baseman, Hayden. Charlton looks down, goes into the windup. Swung on, strike 2. Right fielder for the Wildcats, Woodman, is backing over towards second base a little bit more. Now he's back out, and that one's fouled off to the right. So he's playing about midfield in right field. Jennings is playing just a little bit to the left of second base. And there's the next pitch, and he took a little something off of that, did not fall in, and that'll make the count full. So the Cats picked up one in the first inning. Here comes the next pitch, and that's swung on, and that's going to go right up the middle for a hit. Christian Krogan will be the hitter. He plays center field. He'll step in from the right-hand side. He bats right-handed. Charlton looks over at second. Here's the first pitch. And a little bit high, ball 1.
Sure looked good to me.
Krogan looks down at third base to see a sign from the third base coach down there. There's a pickoff. Go back in plenty of time was Hayden. The flag is not blowing in any direction, which is rare for the field out here. There's normally some wind blowing. Temperature is 68 degrees. In fact, there's a couple of people here that have got umbrellas out to shade the sun.
Well, I can tell you it's bright coming in this window.
Yes, it is. And here comes the next pitch from Charlton. Swung on, no, that's strike 2.
Yeah, he called strike.
Got the outside corner. That'll even the count at 1-1. I said strike 2. It's going to take me a while to get back into the swing of this, I'm sure. But there is a strike. Here comes the next pitch, and that's inside for a ball. 2 balls and a strike, no outs, a runner on first base. Christian Kogan, the center fielder, is up to bat. Here comes the next pitch from Charlton. It's low. That'll run the count to 3-1. "68 degrees when the ball game started this afternoon. As we said, there is no wind at all. A beautiful, beautiful day. And there's a swung on, and it's fouled out of play. That'll run the count full. Hinspeeder will be up next. He plays right field. Charlton looks down. There's the pitch. And that hit him, so that'll take the runner from first to second. And hit batsman. There's a runner on first. And here's the right fielder, Hinspeeder, and there's 2 people on base. No outs. Top half of the second inning. Cats scored in the first inning by way of just manufacturing a run. We got a single, bunted him over to second base, and took third base on a errant ball. And it looks like they're offering a chance to bunt, and first baseman's almost in on top of him, and that's Beaver. So before the ball's even thrown, and Fisher was over to first base. That's one of those things you practice and practice and practice so you get ready. And there it is again. And that one's called a ball, too, a little bit inside. So the count is 2-0.
It's a tough strike zone tonight.
Yeah.
Good night.
See, Bush and Slavin, then it's the top of the batting order, and there's a ball that is bunted foul, so that'll make the count 2 balls and a strike. Here comes the next pitch from Charlton, and there's a bunt, and it is a good one. And it goes, but Beavers is there, and he gets the ball down to second base for the first out. So a 3-4, and there's 1 out, and runners advance to second and third. And the runner is the big first baseman, Kane C. Charlton working from the stretch. Here comes the first pitch, and that's in there for call strike 1. Charlton looking down at that wrist coach, kind of get an idea about what he needs to do next. We don't know much about Pittsburg. We don't know what their record is or anything, and they're swung on, foul ball, strike 2. So Charlton's ahead in the count. Looks like outfielders are playing pretty much straight away. Woodward at right field is probably shaded in just a little bit. There's a ball high and outside. Charlton looks down. Here comes the next pitch. And he took something off of it and got him. So the first strikeout for Charlton. What a pretty curveball.
Yeah.
And here's the catcher, Max Bush. He'll step in batting left-handed.
2 outs.
2 outs. To get out of this would be something. It's got to be a confidence builder for the Cats. And there's a swung on. He fouled it right back into the backstop for strike 1. Hayden over on third base kind of looked like he was trying to fudge to get in. There's another swung on, foul ball, strike 2. And he does it again, but Charlton, all Charlton's got to do is get this batter. He doesn't care about the runners on base. We get this batter, get out, and we come back and rattle the bats. Charlton looks over at third base. There's the next pitch, and that is high. And it comes right back to the catcher, McCoy. And everybody has to stay put. Ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on second and third. Charlton working from the stretch, looks over at third. Here comes the pitch. Got him! What a great pitch. Another one of those that he took something off of and got him. And that retired the side just like that. An inning and a half in the books. Cats are up 1-0. We'll be right back after this.
Southwest Missouri Bank in Neosho serves the Neosho area from 2 locations. They offer business banking services including checking and savings accounts, business loans, and electronic banking. Learn more online at smbonline.com. Southwest Missouri Bank, a proud sponsor of community broadcasting on KNEO, equal housing lender, member FDIC, where their slogan is Southwest Missouri Bank.
Missourians know we've got their back. For 75 years, they've turned to Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance for dependable, personalized life insurance coverage. That's 75 years protecting families and the lives they've built. For small-town values and big-time protection, call Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. We've got Missouri covered.
I am Josh Dodson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
Woodward, Charlton, and Fisher will be up for the Cats in the bottom half of the second inning. Pitcher on the mound is Beck Fern, and he's taking his warm-up pitches, giving Max Baker, who struck out in the last inning, a chance to get all of his catcher gear on. He's got it on, and we'll be ready to throw the ball down to second base, and we'll be ready to go. As we said, we don't know much about Pittsburg, but we know that our Cats have been to Vero Beach, Florida during spring break, where they took 4 out of 5 ball games. They lost the first ball game, and they won the next one. Showed some character from what Coach Kilgore said, because a couple of those ball games, they had to come from behind in the late innings in order to win. There goes the ball down to second base. Second baseman over to the shortstop, and the shortstop back to the third baseman, and we'll be ready to go here in just a minute. Right fielder Ryan Woodward is up. He steps in. He bats from the left-hand side of the plate. Fern comes from the warm-up, wind-up, and there's a ball that was fouled over towards third baseline, and it's out of play for strike 1. Here comes the next pitch from Fern, and that one's way outside. Yep. That'll even the count at 1-1. Cats averted disaster with 2 strikeouts from Cooper Charlton. There's called strike 2 in the last inning. The Pittsburgh Dragons had 2 on base with 1 out, and the Cats were able to come home unscathed. Here's the next pitch, and that is swung on, and it's fouled right back. It's going to be over in the softball field. We've got a soccer game going on over here on one side. We've got softball practice on the other side, so the Marion Family Complex is being well utilized. Here comes the next pitch from Fern, and it's swung on and fouled off. So we'll do it again, and Woodward just hangs in there. That's 5 pitches in this at bat. So that's a good at bat, and there's a high outside pitch. That'll even the count at 2-2. There's the next pitch, and it was a call, strike 3. So Woodward goes down looking, but not until he has run the pitch count up on Fern by about 6 pitches. And here's Charlton. He steps in on the left-hand side there's the first pitch, and that's swung on. It's going to be chased. It may very well be out of play, and I believe that's right.
Bounced out.
Bounced into the dugout. No, not the dugout, but the dugout over there on that side. We have trouble seeing from over here, so it's hard to tell where it went, but that was foul ball, strike 1. Back Fern on the mound for Pittsburgh, and there's the next pitch, and it's outside and low for a ball. So that'll even the count at 1-1. There's 1 out. We're in the second inning. You got plenty of time to get on out here. There'll be a JV ball game after this. That one caught the outside corner, strike 2. Fern had 2 strikeouts in the first inning, so he's kind of flexing his muscles a little bit. And there's a hard hit ball to the shortstop. Shortstop gets it over to first base in plenty of time. Charlton made it close, but 6-3 for the second out. Here's Jaden Fisher. Fisher's been an intricate part of this ball club for quite a while. He played basketball and broke his big toe. However, he did jump in his very last ball game. And because of that broken toe, he went to Florida. I'm not sure that he played just a whole lot, but he has solidified that position at second base. There's ball 2 on the outside. There's the next pitch, and that's ball 3, low and outside. Expect Jaden to kind of look at this one. Aiden McCoy, the catcher, will be up next, and then it'll be Logan Hearn, and that's the top of the batting order. There's one in there for call strike 1. So 3-1, and Jaden did what you would expect, being disciplined. He just kind of watched it go by and swung on. Now that the count is full. Steps back in. Fern working from the windup. Here comes the pitch. and it was ball 4. Catcher Max Bush thought that it was a strikeout. He jumped out and got ready to go down into the dugout. There's first base on balls issued by either pitcher so far, and here is the Wildcats catcher, Aiden McCoy. Wears number 19 and steps in. He bats right-handed. Looked like there was going to be a throw over to first, but Fisher was back in plenty of time. There's the first pitch, and there's called strike 1 on the outside corner. You know, the wind is starting to come up just a little bit now, and it is blowing kind of a crosswind from right to left field. There's the next pitch, and that's high and inside, a little chin music. And now he's going to look down at third base. He steps off the mound, and Fisher's back in plenty of time. And he steps off the mound again. Fisher gets back. Jaden's got some speed, and there is a ball that is hit, and second baseman is going out, and he's got it. So that finishes it up for the Cats. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base after 2 innings of play. Neosho Wildcats up 1-0 over the Pittsburgh Dragons. We'll be right back after this.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized, and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
At Calvary Neosho, we aren't your grandmother's church, because she lives in Akron, Ohio, and that would be a terribly long commute for church. But if she did live in Neosho, we at Calvary would be delighted to have her come visit us. And since you live here, we would definitely like you to come visit us. Then, when your Nana comes to visit for Christmas, you can bring her to church and introduce us to her. We're sure she is a delightful lady. You can find us at Facebook /Calvary of Neosho, or join us in person at 3650 Oak Ridge Extension. We gather for worship Sundays at 10:30 a.m. Calvary Neosho. Not your grandma's church, but we'd sure like to meet her.
Welcome back to the Roy Shaver Stadium in the Marion Family Complex. 2 innings are in the books. We are headed towards 7. Then there'll be a JV ball game after that. The crowd continues to come in, but boy, what a beautiful day out there. Come on out here and support your Neosho Wildcats. They would love for you to be out here so they can show you what they've been working very, very hard, not only at practice, but when they went down to Florida and they got in some real ball games. Number 2 is the hitter, and that is, well, it says it's Max Bush, but I had Max Bush down for a strikeout. So Bush steps in, and here comes the first pitch, and that was fouled out of play for strike 1. Chase Slavin's the left fielder, and then it's the top of the batting order. The pitch is from Cooper Charlton. It's a little bit high and outside. That'll even the count at 1-1. Cooper gets in his rhythm, and he works pretty fast. Swung on, strike 2. Now, he fooled him, Matt, in the last inning with a couple of off-speed pitches and curveballs. Let's see if he does the same. That was a fastball, though. Here comes the next pitch. And he got him, strike 3. So Cooper Charlton on his way to a big strikeout game. He has 3 strikeouts so far after he threw a couple of ground balls and a fly ball in the first inning.
Strike 1. It's a fastball.
Okay, strike 1. That was a fastball. And this is the top of the batting order. This is Cash O'Brien stands back and takes one for a ball on the outside corner. Even the count at 1-1. Cooper Charlton, as we said, moves fast, and there's a call strike on the outside corner. So very quickly he gets ahead of Cash O'Brien. Prophet and then Fern will be up. If he gets that far, here comes the next pitch. Swung on. Got him. Strike three. Nice job by McCoy that time to rally that one back in. Here's Prophet. Prophet grounded out 4-3 his first time up. Here comes the first pitch from Carlton. It looks like he's going to bunt, and it is fouled. Almost went over the backstop.
Yeah,
it jumped out there so hard. So there's strike one. The Cats will be ready. We'll see if that happens again. O'Brien does have a little bit of speed for sure. There's the second one. Swung on, strike two. You know, that takes that bunt question out of the way, doesn't it? Ball game started at 4:30. In case you're just joining us, we are in the third inning, and there is a high pitch from Cooper Charlton, who is on the mound for the Cats. Looks down, and people just continue to come in, don't they?
It's packed.
That's ball inside. That was a curve ball that actually didn't curve. That'll make the count 2-2. A lot of people here from Pittsburgh. There's a lot of purple out there in the stands as well. It's about a 45-minute trip from Pittsburgh. Glad to have those people with us. Got him, strike three. Swung on. And Charlton retires the side, so the Cats will be coming up next, and it will be Hurt, Jennings, and Harville. We'll be right back after this. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
Locally owned, operated, and here for you. Check out the new face of the Neosho Daily News, covering Newton County, highlighting area residents, businesses, school news, sports, and more. Find us on Facebook at Neosho Daily News or call 417-451-1520. Go get 'em, Wildcats.
Crowder College, your future, our focus. At Crowder College, we have 6 convenient locations in Southwest Missouri and online programs to fit your needs. Flexible scheduling provides a pathway to a career or the opportunity to transfer to a 4-year university in a variety of programs. Cheer for the Rough Riders at athletic events. Use the Missouri A+ Scholarship Program for free tuition and common fees. At Crowder College, your future is our focus. Apply today at crowder.edu.
On the man for Pittsburgh is Beck Hearn. He has come through a couple of innings. He got touched for a base hit. First pitch from Drake Jennings in the ball game, and he got through the infield. He was bunted over by Colton Harville, and then went around to third base, and on a pitch that was dropped by the catcher, thrown down to first base, then Jennings scored, and that's the only score of the ball game. So here is the number 9 hitter, Logan Hearn, the left fielder. Bats left-handed, and there's the first pitch. It's inside and low for ball 1. Here comes the second pitch, and that one's low and inside too. Looks like the infield is pretty much straight away. The outfield, for a left-handed hitter, the right fielder is all the way over into right center field. There is a call strike. So a ball that's hit down the first baseline, if he turns on one, he could probably run to here to Joplin. And he wanted to do just that, and that ball came back and hit him.
Yeah.
So he steps out for just a minute. That'll even the count at 2-2. Be the top of the batting order, Drake Jennings, Colton Harville, and Tevin Beaver. First baseman will be up. There's a pitch that's high and outside for a ball that'll run the count full. comes the next pitch from Hearn. And there is a
Oh,
ball
my.
out to center
That is
field, and
hard.
he has lofted that one. But it looks like center
Oh,
fielder
my
comes
gosh.
back, and he catches it.
It was a nice
Going
catch.
back, it was a nice catch. That was a well-hit ball.
Boy, I thought, I'm just going to tell you, I thought it was heading yard.
Well, it did, and he, in fact, he caught that ball back there on the warning track.
Yeah, he did. He fell down.
And fell down. It was it hit into that right center field alley. So there's one out, and here's the center fielder, Drake Jennings. And there's a pitch inside for a ball.
Wind changed again, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it did. Now it's coming back the other direction. It's kind of swirled around, and there's a called strike on the outside corner. Yeah, now it's blowing almost from
Yeah.
center field to right field. And there's a hard-hit ball that he turned on, and he's going to run, and he's going to keep going, and he may get to second base, and he'll hold up there. So Jennings gets on the second time, this time with a double down into the left field corner. And the Cats have got something going. Here's Harville.
Shot. That was a great shot.
That was a line shot that just kept on going. Here's Harville. He bunted in order to get the runner to second base in the first inning, and he was out 1-3. But boy, it was a pretty bunt. It was just perfect, wasn't it?
Yep.
So he'll step in. Now there's one out, and Jennings is on second base. Look to see him kind of do what he can to disrupt things. And there's a swung on strike one. Jennings has some speed. Obviously, he's batting first, and that's part of what Coach Kilgore's scheme is, to get the speedsters on base. And he's doing exactly what he needs to do, which is disrupt Fern. Get him to thinking about him rather than the batter. Here comes the next pitch, and that's fouled off strike two.
He needs to square one up right here.
Yeah, we need to put the barrel of the bat on the ball. You bet. A single is going to score. Drake. Here comes. Got him strike three. Swung on, and that was an off-speed pitch.
Yeah, it was. Came in awfully slow. He was ready for that heater again, wasn't he?
Sure was. He was ready for it. Here's the first baseman, Tevis Beaver.
We don't want to leave anybody stranded now.
Now, Tevin struck out his first time up. I think he would love to get even with Fern right now. And there's the first pitch, and it's going to be out. Foul ball, out of play. Strike one. If he gets on, Gage Harville will be up next. Fern looks down. The wind is starting to pick up just a little bit. You can see Fern's shirt, the sleeves are blowing just a little bit.
No, he's wanting to pick him.
Yeah, and there goes Gage. And he is going to be there. And
Safe.
He could very well, and he's going to come around and score. So Gage scores the only 2 runs for the Wildcats. Nice job of stealing third base, and an overthrow brings him on around to score. So the Cats are up 2-0. Bottom half of the third inning. And now Beavers can just swing away. Here comes a pitch, and it's low and inside. Got away from Bush a little bit that time. That was not a bad throw by Bush down to third base. It just was a little bit low and got past the third baseman. And Gage there is another foul ball, and it's going to be out of play.
Heads up over there. Ooh.
And Jennings' speed and being upright and alert brought him on in to score.
That lady just about got smacked.
Yeah. As we said, this is a busy place. We've got softball practice over here, and there's a swung on, and it got away from the catcher. The catcher gets it down to first base in the strikeout, and that retires the side. But the Cats do damage again. There was 1 run on 1 hit. There was 1 error. And at the end of 3 innings, the Cats are up 2-0. You're watching the Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Every team knows that the two-point play can be a winning move. State Farm agent Eric Norris and his team are here to help you go for 2 by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call and saves you time and money. So go for the win and score big savings by combining your home and auto. It's just another way to help life go right. Call State Farm agent Eric Norris at 417-451-6666 for more information. And go Wildcats!
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Joe Ringstaff, your Neosho Edward Jones financial advisor, understands this. That's why Joe Ringstaff is a proud sponsor of the Neosho Wildcats on KNEO. For all your investment needs, call 417-451-7789 or stop by the office at 2502 Lusk Drive, Suite D in Neosho. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Fernhaden and Krogan up for the Pittsburg Dragons in the top half of the 4th inning. Here comes the first pitch from Charlton. It's outside for a ball. Fern flied out to center field his first time up. Cats leave here and they go play in the Bill O'Dell tournament, an opportunity to play against some other teams that they don't necessarily see. And there is a hard shot, almost took his head off into center field. So the pitcher helps himself out a little bit with a base hit. But the opportunity to, that's exactly what we've done. We played, gone to Florida and played teams from all over the country, including one from Florida, one from Pennsylvania, and I believe one from Ohio that we wouldn't normally see. And now the Bill O'Dell tournament is we will see people from up around Truman Lake. And we'll get an opportunity to play them before we start our hard COC schedule, because there is nothing harder in the state of Missouri, baseball, basketball, or football, than the COC. There's the first pitch, and there's a ground ball to second. Shortstop goes to second, and we get the, he's safe. So the Cats do a good job of a 6-4 and getting the lead runner, and Cole Hayden just barely makes it over to first base. So he's on by way of a fielder's choice. And here's Christian Cogan, the center fielder. Cogan got hit by a pitch his first time up. There's one out, and Cooper Charlton on the mound for the Cats is just buzzing right along. There's a ball that is low and inside for ball 1. So far, he struck out the side his last time up. Then he had 2 strikeouts before that. So he's got 5 strikeouts to his credit in 3 innings. There's the next pitch, and that's an off-speed pitch. McCoy does a nice job of smothering that and keeping it in front of him. So that's ball 1. 1 out and 1 ball and no strikes. Here comes the next pitch. And McCoy does a nice job of getting that one, too. Looked like he wanted to throw it to first base.
I thought he was going to rip it, boy.
I did, too.
I think he probably could have got him in a rundown right there.
I do, too. I do, too. Hayden over on first base by way of a fielder's choice. There's the next pitch, and there's a call strike. So 3 balls and a strike now on Christian Cogan, the center fielder for Pittsburg. Here's a pitch from Cooper Charlton, and that one was high and outside, so there's a walk. Second walk issued in the ball game. So there will be runners on first and second and 1 out. For Alex Hinspeter. He is the right fielder for the Purple Dragons. Charlton looks over, throws the ball, it's high, ball 1. Just looking back at second base for just a minute or two and watching Hayden down there get off just a little bit. Gage, the shortstop, is watching real close. There was a bunt, but that's fouled way back for a foul ball, strike one. So the count's even, 1-1. One out, top half of the fourth inning. In case you're just joining us, we appreciate that. There'll be a JV ball game after this, so come on out and enjoy your Wildcats and support them. Let them show you what they can do. They're an exciting ball club. Inspeeder grounded out 4-3 his last time up. Charlton looks around. Here comes a pitch, and that one's a little high for a ball. Infield would love a double play ball right here. And in the first inning, Charlton threw 2 ground balls like that. And it looks like he's going to try to bunt, and it's a bunt that went foul. So there is another strike, 2. That'll even the count at 2-2. Charlton looks down. He works from the stretch. Here comes the next pitch. And it's low and inside. Kind of got away from McCoy for just a minute, but he kept it in front of him. That'll run the count full. Not wanting to put anybody on base, I'd say this one's going to be a heater, and there it comes. Call strike 3. Got him. Got him. Sure did. So second out to retire the side, and here comes the big first baseman, C.
I'll tell you, Dad, they got some big old boys on that team.
They certainly do, don't they?
Yeah.
So he steps in and bats him right-handed. He struck out his last time up. Charlton looks things over. There's the first pitch, and that's swung on. Foul ball, strike 1.
That went all the way over there.
Yeah, it did. Charlton looks down. Here comes the second pitch. A little bit outside. That'll even the count at 1-1. I'll tell you, Neosho is getting the very best out of the Marion Family Complex. Crowder College has actually played baseball out here a time or two when their field couldn't call. They swung on strike 2. When their field it got rained on and rained on and rained on. It's of course, dirt field with a grass infield, but they came over here and played. There's the next one. Got him. And say strikes out for the second time, and that was that little off-speed curveball. So they get out of the inning with a runner on first and a runner on second, but there's no score. And after 4.5, the Cats are up 2-0. We'll be right back after this.
This is Pastor Barry Reel from the First Free Will Baptist Church of Neosho. Though our culture seems to be rejecting the idea of truth, we remain committed to obeying God's Word by speaking the truth in love. We would love to share God's truth and love with you. We're located at 960 Burr Crossing Road in Neosho, and we meet on Sunday mornings at 10:45 a.m. and then again on Sunday and Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Find us on Facebook at First Free Will Baptist Neosho or call 918-413-5465.
Family Market, located at 201 North Neosho Boulevard, is your friendly hometown grocery store with delicious deli and the best selection of fresh meats and beautiful produce. Family Market can also take care of all your catering needs. Whether your upcoming event is big or small, Family Market can handle it all. Call 451-0057. That's 451-0057. Check out the Family Market Facebook page for weekly specials. Go Wildcats from Family Market of Neosho.
4, 5, and 6 hitters in the bottom of the fourth inning. It'll be Harville, Woodward, and Charlton. Cats are up by a score of 2-0. We're in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Good time for the Cats to rattle the bats. Put the barrel of the bat on the ball, and nobody better to do it than Gage Harville. steps in. He's hitting from batting left-handed. Here's the first pitch from Fern, and it's low and outside for a ball. Here's the next pitch from Fern, and that one is low and inside. Fern is the pitcher of record. He has going into the bottom of the fourth inning, and he's got 3 strikeouts, 2 unearned runs, and there's ball 3. You can look for Harville to watch this one. He gets on, and it'll be Woodward, the right fielder. And there's ball 4. So Harville gains a pass. That is the second pass that's been issued by Fern, third of the ball game. Charlton issued one in the last inning. And the flag continues to swirl just a little bit out there, doesn't it, Matt?
Yeah, every which way you can think of.
Woodward struck out his first time up. I'm sure he'd like to get even with Mr. Fern right now. And he turns around and throws the ball back to first, but Harville's back in plenty of time.
You know, Harville, he ran bases last year.
Yes, he did.
Both of them did.
Yeah,
Both the brothers did last year.
And he's going there this time, and it looks like he's there
safe
without any trouble. Nice.
Oh, my.
Yeah, and that ball got away.
He just didn't want to push it.
No. Bush threw that ball way over on the shortstop side, and it got away from the shortstop into the field, but Harville thinks second base is a good place to be, so he's in there with a stolen base.
Good job.
So the Cats have got a runner on second base with no outs, bottom half of the fourth inning. And that kind of changes the strategy just a little bit. And there was a ball that was fouled off, I believe.
Boy, that was close to hitting his hand.
Yeah, it really was. So that was strike 2 on Wyatt Woodward, the right fielder. A ground ball's going to advance the runner. He's got 2 strikes now, and he's squared around to bunt.
No outs.
Cats are in a catbird seat right here. We need a run. And did just that at the last minute. He squared to bunt, and then at the last minute he came back, was ready to swing, and it was a pitch high and outside. Charlton, the pitcher, will be up next. Here comes the pitch from Fern, and that's outside for ball 2. So just like that, the count is evened up at 2-2. Charlton, Fisher, McCoy, Hearn, and then it's the top of the batting order for the Cats. Cats need a big inning right here, and that was called strike 3. Caught him on the outside corner. So there is strikeout number 1 of the evening. And here's Charlton. Charlton grounded 6-3 his last time up. You may see the play put on here with Charlton, the pitcher, with the first pitch was outside for a ball, low and outside. Fern on the mound for Pittsburg, and he turns around to throw the ball back to second base, but Harville is back in plenty of time. Cats continue to get on base and run. There's the next pitch, and that's called strike. Caught the inside corner. Hearn looks over at second base, looks down at home, looks back at second. Here comes a pitch, and Charlton pops this one up out of play. The count will be a ball and 2 strikes. 1 out, bottom half of the fourth inning. There is a big hole in what we call the power alley, which is right center field. And there's a off-speed pitch of some sort. It was high and outside. Maybe that was a curveball that didn't curve.
I tell you, I think if he could hit that right down the first base line, they could all run forever.
Here comes the next pitch, and that one's outside. So there's ball 3. That'll run the count full. Yeah, if he could run the ball right down, turn on one and get it down the first baseline, he sure could. Comes a pitch from Fern, and it kind of gets to the pitcher, and we get the out, but Harville goes on to third base, so sacrifice 1-3, and there's 2 outs. Here's Jaden Fisher, and he was the one that got the walk in the second inning. So he's walked and Harville has walked. There's a swung on, foul ball, strike 1. Harville's on third base. We need to bring him around.
Yeah. Jaden needs to get a hold of one right here.
Fisher stands in. There's the next pitch, and there's called strike. That was a slider on the outside corner. That was a nice pitch. Comes the next pitch, and that ball is outside. So that'll make the count a ball and 2 strikes. There's 2 outs. A base hit is going to score another run for the Cats. And a swung on, a foul ball.
Hanging in
count
there.
Remains the same. Fern looks down at his catcher, Bush. Here comes the pitch, and Fisher holds off, and there's ball 2. So deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. And Jaden Fisher stands in. The senior swung on, and he fouled that one back out of play.
I wonder if he's going to pitch an off-speed pitch here.
Well, I guess we'll see. Jaden is pretty disciplined, and he fouled that one back too. So regardless of what happens, he is running the pitch count up on Mr. Fern. Catcher Hayden McCoy is on deck. And there's another ball that's fouled back out of play. That's going to be over towards the soccer field. In fact, it was close. There is nobody working in the bullpen for Pittsburgh at this point, so
sure is.
We'll see how far this goes. And there's call strike 3. Got him. So the Cats lost an opportunity that time. They had a runner all the way to third base with 1 out. At the end of 4, the score is 2-0 in favor of the Neosho Wildcats. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Forbes asked, and the people answered. Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance is one of America's best insurance companies. Forbes recognizes what our customers have known for generations. We are committed to protecting families and the lives they've built. For auto, home, life, and business protection, call Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. We've got Missouri covered.
I am Josh Dotson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
Hi, I'm Sam O'Neill with Affordable Propane of Neosho. From setting tanks to refilling them, we offer a full spectrum of service to meet your every need. We serve Neosho and surrounding areas, and we are committed to giving you better service at better prices. Give us a call today, 417-437-8927. Thank you.
And welcome back. Top half of the 5th inning. Neosho Wildcats playing the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons, and the score is 2-0 in favor of the Cats. The same person has scored twice for the Cats, and that's the leadoff hitter, Drake Jennings. Cats had a good opportunity the last time. They had a runner on third base, but couldn't get it on around. Cooper Charlton on the mound for the Cats, and at this point he has got 6 strikeouts to his name. First batter up is Max Bush, the catcher. Here comes the first pitch, swung on, and it's back in the back of the dugout, or the backstop for strike one. Jay Slavin will be up next. Bush struck out in the second inning when he was up. Here comes the next pitch, and that was a ball that was just dropped right into left field. Caught it. Okay. So the left fielder, Logan Hearn, came up and caught that ball for one out.
It was like a check swing, but I was able to catch it right off this stone over here. I could see.
So there's one out, and here is Jay Slavin, the left fielder.
Great play.
Defense has always been a key mark of Coach Kilgore's teams, and that was a nice play that time. The first pitch was outside.
And then you got coach is very aggressive on the bases as well.
Very much. Here comes the next pitch, and that is low. Nice job of trying to frame the ball that time by McCoy. Slavin steps back in. He struck out in the third inning. And there's a called strike. Caught the inside corner. 2 balls and a strike on the left fielder, Slavin. So next pitch, and that swung on to the shortstop. Harville is up with it over to first base, and we got the out.
Hey, that's how you do it, you know?
Yes, it is. 6-3, and there's 2 outs. It's the first ground ball that Cooper Charlton has thrown since the first inning. He's been spending a lot of time getting strikeouts. But he is moving right along. And here's the top of the batting order. Cash O'Brien, the second baseman, he grounded out and struck out. First pitch from Charlton, it's that off-speed pitch. Little inside for ball one.
Something tells me he'd like for that curveball to be a little bit nastier than what it's being, but give him some time. I bet it's going to get nasty.
Absolutely, you bet. There's swung on, strike one. That evens the count at 1-1. He just blew that one right by him. So leaving the count with 2 outs, top half of the 5th inning. Comes the next pitch in Cooper. And it was a ball. Outside corner. There's plenty of time to get on out here. There'll be a JV ball game after this, so come on out and join us. There is a pitch called strike. That was that little curveball. It evens the count at 2-2. Yeah.
Smell the popcorn.
Yeah, I do too. They probably got at least a Coke or a Diet Coke or something down there too, don't they? Pitch was, he brought the heat, no doubt. And home plate umpire did not pull the trigger, so the count is full. Should he get on base, Landon Profit, the shortstop, will be next. Swung on, got him. So Charlton gets another strikeout, and he's breezing right along. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Cats up 2-0. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Want to know what your home is worth? Stop by to get a free competitive market analysis with Show Me Real Estate of Neosho. They're proud to serve the Neosho area and will stay with you every step of the way, whether you're buying or selling. A family-owned business for over 25 years, Show Me Real Estate of Neosho. 417-451-1700 or by email at gkitchen.showmerealestate@gmail.com. Home of the Happy Campers.
Today's Wildcat game is brought to you by Edgewood Bowling Center of Neosho, Missouri. Located at 2811 Gardner Edgewood Drive, they now have new synthetic lanes for adult and children bowling leagues and a smoke-free environment. They also have a certified pro shop and hosting for private parties. They offer Cosmic Glow Bowling on Fridays and Saturdays after 8 p.m. To learn more about Edgewood Bowling Center and their leagues for adults and children, the phone number is 417-451-4505.
8-9-1 hitter, starting off with Aiden McCoy, the catcher for the Neosho Wildcats, batting in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Fern Kern, pitcher of record, throws the first pitch, and it's called strike one.
Looks like they got somebody down there in the bullpen.
Yeah, there's somebody down there working out a little bit. Here comes the next pitch, and that ball is another heater, but it's outside for ball one. That'll even the count at 1-1. The infield is playing just about in the middle. The center fielder is on back, and there is one that has popped back up out of play for strike two. McCoy did not get a hold of one the last time it was up. However, if it had gone over the second baseman's head, it would have been a score for the Cats. So I'm sure he wants to swing the bat, and he does just that. He gets the ball to the shortstop, and the shortstop makes the out. So the first out is 6-3. And it looked like that Sieb actually stepped off the bag and then got back on before McCoy got over there. So nice play by the first baseman. Here comes Logan Fern, the left fielder, who was the one that made that great catch out in left field just a minute ago. And he hit the ball a long way back into center field on the warning track, only to be caught. I'm sure he'd like another opportunity. First pitch was high for a ball. It looked like he was going to bunt it, and then he held back and for ball two. And catcher Bush wanted to check with the base umpire about that, and he gave the safe signal. Next pitch, and that's high and outside, so 3 balls and no strikes.
I tell you, he's out there, that pitcher's getting frustrated. Mm-hmm. He's getting animated.
Yeah. There's ball 4, and that is another walk. And Logan Hearn is on first base. And here comes Drake Jennings. Jennings has got on twice and come around and scored, and there's the first pitch to him. That's a ball, and I believe that is maybe the 9th ball in a row that Fern has thrown, so maybe we'll just sit back and make him throw a strike. Steps off the mound like he wants to throw the ball over to first base, but Hearn is back in plenty of time. He did make the throw then, but of course Hearn was back. Jennings hit a single and came around and scored, and then he was had a double.
Oh, got him.
And he was safe. Well, we were talking. Hearn takes off down to second base, and he gets there. Looked like a good pitch, a good throw from catcher Bush that time. Maybe they just didn't get the tag on him.
I guess he didn't. I thought that he had his glove in front of the bag before he got there, but maybe he rolled out.
Yeah, it could have. And Jennings is inside for a ball. If he can turn on another one like he did a little while ago, the Cats will be in business. 2 balls and a strike on Drake Jennings. And he halfway swung, and the umpire said, no, you swung all the way. That'll even the count at 2-2. So Hearn stepping off pretty good there and they were trying to get him. He had a play on it, did not work, but Hearn got back in plenty of time. The shortstop had snuck around back behind him. And Fern, the pitcher, turned around and wheeled the ball, but did not get him. And he's still taking another step off. Here comes the pitch. And there's a strike.
Oh, my.
Yeah. So Drake strikes out. That is the second out. And here comes Harville. Harville is grounded out and on a bunt sacrifice, and he struck out. And now I'll tell you what, Hearn is doing just exactly what he needs to do, trying to keep Fern's vision off of the batter. And Harfel fouls that one out of play for strike one. We got a Hearn and we got a Fern and we've got a little bit of everything. In case you're just joining us, it's the bottom half of the fifth inning. We're going to 7 and the Cats are up 2-0. There's a pitch and it is called strike. A little bit of a curveball, I believe, because that's the second time we've seen a batter back away and the ball is curved in. So there's no balls and 2 strikes. There's 2 outs in the bottom of the fifth. And Harville standing in there. Here comes the next pitch, and he fouls that one out of play. Hangs in there. And apparently it's working because the Cats have got someone in their bullpen, but there's a couple of people up in the Pittsburg bullpen right now. And there's a ball that's hit to the shortstop. Shortstop is going to have trouble getting to it, and the Cats turn around and score. Great job that time by Hearn to just keep right on going and score.
It was a check swing right there.
It was. And Harville is on base. We're going to call that a base hit, I believe. Yeah, we'll have to call it a base hit. You bet. So the Cats are up 3-0. And here is Tevin Beaver. There's the first pitch, and it's swung on, and it's fouled out of play. Great heads-up play that time by Logan Hearn. Beaver stands in there. Here comes the pitch, and we got another guy going to second. And the ball gets away from Bush, and in safe is Harville. So the Cats are picking up about where they left off last year, aren't they, Matt? You made reference to the fact that we're pretty aggressive. Yeah. And the coach comes over. Scribner is on the mound. He's patting his pitcher, giving him a little bit of encouragement, probably also waiting for the bullpen to get completely warmed up.
Well, he's out there kicking rocks around, and he's mad. Yeah. He's mad, and I'll tell you what, we're taking every bit of advantage of it.
Yeah, we certainly are.
Kilgore knows that he's frustrated, and he's gonna keep sending runners.
Yeah, he is. He is. So Harville's on second. 1 run is in. Here comes the next pitch. Low for ball. 2 outs, bottom half of the fifth inning. Infield is looking to make a play. And I'm sure Fern would just like a strikeout and be done with it. Well, the best that Bush could do that time was frame that a little bit, but the home plate umpire said no, that was low. 3-1. Just wait on your pitch. And here it comes. It's swung on to the third baseman. Third baseman over to first base, C, and that's the third out. But the Cats score again, and they continue to score one along the way. At the end of 5, it's 3-0 in favor of the Neosho Wildcats. We'll be right back after this.
Chapman Sawmill and Hardwood Lumber is located at 17402 Kentucky Road in Neosho. They specialize in custom woodworking, wide plank flooring, and custom sawing. They make headboards, dining tables, coffee tables, and even stairs for a staircase. For more information and see some of their work and get pricing, call 417-438-5507.
Healthcare doesn't have to be complicated. At the Free Market Physician in Neosho, you pay just one affordable monthly fee, and that covers all the checkups and routine care you need. No insurance hassles, no surprise bills, just unlimited access to your doctor when you need them. Whether it's a quick visit, telemedicine, or ongoing care, you're covered. Find out how simple healthcare can be. Call 417-312-9499 or visit freemarketphysicians.com. That's 417-312-9499.
Yeah, Neosho has a pitching change. The sophomore Jack Goodall comes in, and he's taking his warm-up pitches. We'll see if we have another pitching change. Fern will be the second batter this inning, and we'll see if that's if he's lifted for a pinch hitter. Top half of the sixth inning, the Cats are up by a score of 3-0. Jack's a sophomore. He is the daughter of Coach B.J. Goodall, who is the softball coach. He comes to Neosho this year from Liberal, and he's got a high step
he
up.
Does. He's
and,
got one you want to look at.
He throws the ball and throws it hard, so we'll see. This is our first time to see him, but he does throw the ball and throws it hard. And he will be facing the shortstop, Landon Profit. The pitcher, if he comes up, and would be Fern and then Cole Hayden. Stepping in is number 6, Profit. He has struck out once, and he is grounded out in the first inning. So the book for Cooper Charlton is he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strikeouts, and he leaves the slate clean. 3-0 in favor of the Cats. Goodall's, here comes his first pitch. And it's low, and he's bringing the heat. Ball. 2 balls and no strikes to Profit, the shortstop. Here's Goodall's next pitch, and that's in there for call strike 1. 2 balls and a strike on Profit, the shortstop. Goodall looks down. Here comes that high kick, and here comes the pitch. Swung on, strike 2. Brought the steam that time, too. I believe we're probably going to see him just throw fastballs.
Yeah, he might.
Yeah. Which is okay. He is a tall young man. He probably stands 6'1", 6'2", maybe. Here's the next pitch. And got him, strike 3. So Goodall comes in, and he gets the first batter, Profit, with a strikeout. And can you tell who that batter is? That Fern is up to bat.
Yeah,
and he's batting left-handed. He got a hit his last time up, hit the ball right up the middle. Here comes the first pitch, and there's a swung on, and everybody's chasing it, and the shortstop has got it for the out.
Yep, so, got him. Yeah. That was you guys couldn't see it, but he was leaving the ground, diving to catch that ball.
Yeah, so Gage Harville makes a nice catch for the second out.
That umpire just called him out. Yeah, what's he doing?
Yeah, he's out. I guess he was thought he was there. All right, but Coach Kilgore comes out and says, "Wait a minute, my guy made a really nice catch. Get that guy off first base." So there's 2 down, top half of the 6th inning, and here is Cole Hayden. There's the first pitch, and it's swung on, and it could be in no man's land, but he makes the out. Nice play again by Gage Harville, coming all the way across and making the play 6-3. So 3 up and 3 down. We go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Neosho Wildcats up 3-0. We'll be right back.
Tally Tire at 18152 East Highway 86 is a proud supporter of local high school athletics. Tally Tire is your full-service car and truck headquarters. They carry name-brand tires such as Nexen, Mastercraft, and Uniroyal, ATC camper shells and bed covers, and do oil changes and tune-ups. Call Tally Tire today for all your automotive needs at 417-451-0457 or online at tallytire.com.
You found it, the ultimate car wash, the one that leaves your vehicle looking brand new every single time. Do we have a prep team that pre-washes? You bet. Over 300 ports applying soap to your vehicle? Yes, sir. 40 high-pressure nozzles providing over 2,500 psi of pressure? Who wouldn't? Buff and dry features that dry your car along with combined 100 horsepower blowers? Try 150. Be careful, we might just blow you away.
The law offices of Wood & Peterson is sponsoring this portion of Neosho Wildcat Athletics, located at 217 South Lafayette, Neosho, and 431 Virginia Avenue in Joplin. They serve Southwest Missouri with personal claim representation. For more information, the phone number is 417-451-4141 or online at neoshoattorney.com. The law offices of Wood & Peterson are proud supporters of the Neosho Wildcats.
Well, Harville comes up to bat, and he will be the first to face the freshman, Drake Wilcox, who is the new pitcher, and Fern goes to first base. There's the first pitch, and it's in there for call strike one. So for the Cats, it'll be Harville, Woodard, and then whoever the batter might be. That one's inside for a ball. We're thinking maybe at this point it's going to be Goodell. Swung on.
That kid's got some speed now.
Yes, he does. For a freshman, he throws the ball
he
just
does.
pretty good. Well, now Charlton is obviously, I see him out there, so he is going to go ahead and plan to hit. Here comes the next pitch, and that's called strike three. So the underclassmen are kind of showing their stuff here, aren't they? Wilcox, a freshman, gets a strikeout on Harville, and that brings up the right fielder, Wyatt Woodard. No, wait a minute. And we've got a pinch hitter, and that pinch hitter will be number 4, and that's Brody Crane. We'd said something about not seeing him. So Brody is the number 1 pitcher for the Wildcats, but we know also he's got a bat. And there's the first one. It's high and inside for a ball.
He's been known to go yard on several different occasions.
Yeah, he has. He's gone yard. He's gone ground rule double. And there's another one that's high and inside for ball 2. Crane batting for Woodward, and Charlton is going to come up next. 2 balls and no strikes. Here comes a pitch from Wilcoxon, and there is a high ball. Looks like the shortstop has got it.
Oh, they dropped it.
No, they dropped it.
You got a double.
They couldn't see it. So,
you know how long that was up in the air for?
It was up there for a long time. Well, now they're saying it was caught, I guess. Nope. He's at second base, so Crane goes to second, gets all the way around to second base on an error by the shortstop, I believe it probably is.
That was a
and here's the next
ball
batter. This is Charlton. There's swung on, or no, that's call strike 1. Charlton has grounded out twice. And here comes the next pitch, and he hits that one on the ground, and everybody is going to be safe, it looks like. Nope, called it foul. All right, that was a foul, and Crane will go back to second base.
Feet.
Yeah, okay. Crane goes back to second base. The Cats have got 1 out, but runner on second base. This would be another good opportunity to pick up a insurance run, bottom of the 6th inning. And that's a swung on, and that is just kind of dropped out there. I believe that's going to drop in.
Yeah. Sending
it does,
him home.
and here comes Crane. He's going to score. And the runner is in second base. Charlton's in second with a double. So Crane scores, and Charlton gets a double. Nice running by the Cats. So Charlton has an opportunity to help us, even though he's not pitching. He picks up a double to help the cause and gets an RBI in the process. Cats are up 4-0. And here is Jaden Fisher. The ball's low, bounces into the catcher. Nice job of holding it. Fisher steps in, looks down. Here comes the pitch from Wilcox, and that one's low and inside. Two balls, no strikes.
Good stop by the catcher.
JV ball game starting just shortly after this. Cats could pick up another run or two and go into the top of the 7th inning. This ball game might be over. There's another one, and it gets past the catcher that time, and Charlton's on third base. Fisher, McCoy, and Hearn. Hearn was the one that was at second base and scored on a routine ground ball because he had some speed.
Nope, we're going to visit.
Yeah, Scribner's going to come. Coach Scribner's going to come out and visit for just a minute or two. And Fisher wants to go over and talk for just a minute or two. So he does. And we're ready to go. So Fisher's got 3 balls and no strikes. Runner on third base. There is one out in the bottom of the 6th. Drake Wilcox, the freshman, on the mound for Pittsburgh. Here comes the next pitch, and Jaden holds up. It's called strike 1. Here comes the next pitch. And it hits him, so he goes to first base. So Fisher is on first by way of a hit pitch. Runners on first and third. Cats have scored 1. There is 1 out. And here's the catcher, McCoy.
I have a feeling that Fisher's going to end up on second.
Yeah. McCoy has grounded out twice. And I think we're probably right. If we get, we're going to have a pinch runner. And that pinch runner is number 29. And we'll see here real quick.
That is Braden Ruffo.
Yeah.
Ruffo?
Yeah, Braden Ruffo. Yeah, we'll see. Apparently he's one that's got a little bit of scat to him, I'm going to say.
I'd say you have to.
Yeah, and he's a freshman, too, so there's the first pitch, and a perfect bunt is laid down, and it goes foul. There was nothing anybody could do about that. They couldn't have gotten that ball if they'd wanted to. And fortunately for Pittsburgh, it went foul. So McCoy's got strike 1, and everybody will go back to where they were, and we'll do it again. Cats are in a great position to pick up their 5th win of this young season. Go to the Bill O'Dell tournament from here. And it looks like we're going to bunt. He pulls it back. And that's a ball. That'll even the count at 1-1. Looks over at Coach Kilgore down third base and says, well, Coach, what do you want me to do now? And here comes a pitch, and there's a run, and he just goes.
Yeah.
And so Ruffo, the pinch runner, gets down to second base without a throw. So that takes a double ball play out of place. That does a lot of good things for the Cats, in fact. Wilcoxon pitches, and that ball is really bunted way back.
Oh,
and
we got a cat and mouse.
We've got a cat and mouse game. Yeah, he's safe.
What happened
And
there?
the run comes in. The third baseman got in the way.
Yeah, he did.
And we picked up the score. So the Cats have scored 2 this inning, and the runner at second base, Ruffo, is still still right there, and there's still only one out, and the count is 2-2. Now, McCoy's played it bunting a couple of times. We'll see what happens this time. I bet he will swing away if it's a good pitch. Here it comes. And there was, went right back to the second baseman. Or went back to the pitcher, and the pitcher went to the third baseman, and they got the diving runner for the second out.
It was a good play by the pitcher.
So there's 2 outs. McCoy is on first base by way of a fielder's choice.
Number 6, pinch running.
Okay. And we've got another pinch runner. Let's see if we can. Well, I'm looking here.
That's one of our young. Here it is. Cason Bridges.
Cason Bridges is on first base. He's another one of the freshmen. And there is a ball high and outside for ball 1. Well, Will Coxon showed some baseball savvy that time by picking up that ball and getting it over to third base when he could have gotten the out, but he went ahead and got the lead runner anyway. So 2 outs now.
Back in control.
Yep. 2 outs now, 2 balls and no strikes on Hearn. And that one is fouled off and fell back into the Wildcat bullpen. Cats are up 5-0 now, getting ready to 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. So next pitch, and that one's hit, and that's fouled all the way back, and that's going to go over into the softball field. Fans are out here being treated to some exactly what we know our Wildcats to do: aggressive base running and swinging and hitting the ball, manufacturing runs. Be sure and stay tuned for the post-game show, which is brought to you by Arvest Bank. We'll see. And there is another foul ball backing out of play back in the softball field. See what Coach Kilgore has to say. We've just talked with him briefly after they came back from Florida. Will Cox, the freshman, on the mound, and there's a pitch, and it's high and outside. That'll leave the count at 2-2. Runner over on first base is a pinch runner, Bridges, and he's going, and there is ball 4. So we've got 2 runners on base, and here's Drake Jennings. Drake has scored twice. He hit a single and a double, and then he struck out his last time up. Ducks on the pond now. He really would love to add to that score right now. There's the first pitch, and it's low and inside for a ball. Probably with the speed that we have on the bases, there's a good chance we could get certainly 1, maybe 2. And he holds back on that one. That's an inside pitch for ball 2 with a base hit. Here comes the next pitch from Will Cox, and that's swung on, and he got in front of that and drove it down third baseline into the Wildcats dugout. We're in the bottom half of the 6th inning, and there's another one that gets past the catcher, and everybody's going to move up a base.
Yep.
So now the Cats have got runners on second and third. Freshman Drake Wilcox on the mound for Pittsburg. There's the next pitch, and Drake walks. So that loads the bases for Colton Harville.
If you ever want to be somebody, now's the time to do it.
He is up. He has grounded out. He has struck out, and then he was left on third base last time up. There's the first pitch, and it's in there for call strike one.
We just need a line drive.
Yeah. Still 68, 69 degrees, and there's somebody else going into the bullpen. There's call strike two. And he's shaking his head like it might have been a low pitch. And from our perspective, it could have been. But, hey, the home plate umpire is right there. He knows what he's doing. Here comes the next pitch, and that's a ball that's low. So the count's a ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs, bottom half of the 6th inning. Cats up 5-0. Wilcox works from the stretch. And
struck him out.
Struck him out, he sure did. And he's not happy about that. He threw his bat down. So Cats pick up 2 in that inning. So the score after 6 innings is your Neosho Wildcats 5 and the Pittsburg Purple Dragons 0. Top half of the 7th inning coming your way. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcats Sports Network.
The Sports Locker, located at 1206 Neosho Boulevard, Neosho, is a proud supporter and supplier of Neosho Wildcat Athletics. Open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday and 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday. They carry all the biggest brands, including Under Armour, Nike, and Adidas sports apparel and equipment. Be sure to check out their Facebook page at Sports Locker Team Sales and Specials, or their number is 417-451-9300. Proud supporters of the Neosho Wildcats.
Five, 6, and 7 hitters, Krogan, Henspeter, and C are up in the top half of the 7th inning. 3 up, 3 down, and the Cats walk away with a victory. And the batter is the center fielder, Christian Kogan. Krogan has been hit by a pitch. It's his only time to get on. There's the first pitch from Goodall. Jack Goodell, the sophomore, coming in relief of Charlton. Here comes the second pitch. And he's thrown a couple of smokers. That one's a little bit low, too, for ball 2. Steps off the mound for a minute, kind of clears his head a little bit. Now he's ready. He works from that high kick, and that hit the batter. So, a hit batter and a runner on first base. And here is Alex Spinveter. Henspeter has been hit by a pitch. He is struck out and grounded out. Goodell looks over at first base. Goodell looks at first base, and he throws over there. Nothing doing. He got back in plenty of time. Looks over and throws over again. Almost got him that time, though. Right fielder, Hinspeter's up. There's the first pitch, and that was low and outside for a ball. Looks like that there will be a pinch hitter coming up next. Swung on, foul ball, strike 1. That evens the count at 1-1. Looks like
that'll be Drake Wilcox. Looks like on deck.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, swung on, and The ball gets down. It was a good throw by McCoy, but it just a little bit late. So the runner gets down to second base, and that's Krogan. Look, they had a hit and run going on there, and that was strike 2. It's the first time McCoy's been tested tonight, I believe. The wind has picked up just a little bit, and there's the next pitch. Got him, strike 3. So there's the first out. And here's the freshman, Drake Wilcox. He's batting in place of the first baseman, Kane C. Goodall looks back at second base. Goodall looks at second base, and there's ball 1. Jack comes from a very athletic family. His sister plays softball for Crowder College as well. Mm-hmm. And he looks down at second. Here comes the next pitch, and that's a fly ball. And it looks like it's going to fall in there, and it does.
Guys.
And Fisher has the ball. Wind caught it just a little bit, but runner got around to third base and was stranded there. So runners on first and third. There is 1 out, top half of the 7th inning. Jack Goodell in relief of Cooper Charlton, who's thrown a good ball game. Jack came in the last inning and did that too. A little jam to get out of here. He looks down, looks over at third base. Here comes the first pitch, and that's foul ball, strike 1. I can't see the number on the back, but that is Bush, the catcher. Here comes the pitch from Goodell. It's in there for call, strike 2. So he's out on top of the catcher, who has struck out and flied out in the ball game, Max Bush. A strikeout here would go really well. He looks down, here it comes, and there's a ground ball. It goes to the pitcher, fumbles it, gets it to first base, and they get him. But 1 run does score, but that's a second out. So Bush is out 1-3, but the shutout is over. And Wilcox takes second base. Here is Jay Slavin, the left fielder. He struck out and he's grounded out. Goodell looks at second base, and there goes a runner, and he gets there without any trouble.
Logan is safe.
Yeah. It's okay. We get this one, and all is well. There's 1 ball on the left fielder, Slavin. And, that had the home plate umpire looking a little bit inside for a ball 2. Here comes the next pitch from Jack. Strike. Caught the outside corner. One more and the Cats go home happy. Here comes the next pitch underway. It's a little bit low. 3-1's the count. Be the top of the batting order. Cash O'Brien up next. We want to get this guy right here, though. Here comes the next pitch.
Oh, goodness.
And he walked, yeah. So runners on first and third. And McCoy wants to go out and talk to his young pitcher for just a minute or two.
Yeah, it's time to close it out.
In fact, the infield is coming in. They all want to give him a little bit of encouragement. And there is nobody in the Wildcats bullpen, so we'll just keep right on going. Top of the batting order, Cash O'Brien. He has struck out twice and grounded out once. Catcher McCoy taking control and showing that there is a play on for the Cats. Runner is Wilcoxon on third base. Wilcox on third base. And there's the first pitch. It's inside for a ball. Infield or outfield is playing in pretty. Well, the runner makes it to second base, but the runner at third holds up. Now there's runners on second and third. The wind is blowing in now.
He just needs to calm down and throw some strikes.
Well, here's a good opportunity to get one right here. Here comes that high kick, and that's in there for call strike one. O'Brien's the batter. He's the top of the batting order. He plays second base. He's grounded out once and struck out twice. Comes the next pitch from Goodall. A little bit high for a ball. McCoy hustles out to give him a little bit of encouragement. Outfield is still in. Here comes the pitch. Call strike two. Got him. Now McCoy thought that was ball four and was headed down to first base. Home plate umpire says, not quite so fast. Stay tuned after this for the post-game show. We'll be talking with, and there's a swung-on ball that goes to the shortstop, and he gets it over to first base, and that retires the side. So the ball game is over. Neosho Wildcats win it by a score of 5-1. We're going to take a timeout, and we'll be back. We will have the post-game show. We will wait for Coach Kilgore to come up. But your final score, 5-1 in favor of the Neosho Wildcats. We'll be right back.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
Today's event is being supported by Banner Church of the Nazarene, located at 597 North Fork Road between Anderson and Goodman. Banner Church of the Nazarene services are Sunday school at 9:30 and family worship at 10:30. Check out their special Sunday night youth fellowship. Wednesday services begin at 7, offering adult Bible study, ladies Bible study, youth and children's services. Contact them at bannerchurch.com, 417-364-7461, or dennis@bannerchurch.com.
What does a culture of excellence look like? It looks like her, him, and them. It's where future educators, innovators, lifesavers, and global leaders call their home. It's a place where immersive learning environments can help empower students to command a future in their field. Come experience excellence at Missouri Southern State University.
Hi, I'm Mark Taylor, General Manager of KNEO Radio and the CEO of the Sky High and Neosho Wildcats Broadcasting Network. As we bring you these high school sports broadcasts each week, there are additional hours and behind-the-scenes work that has to be done to bring you this broadcast. And there's more and more equipment needed with the expansion of the internet or radio broadcast equipment, social media, plus there's fees, announcer costs. It all can add up. If you're a business, we could use your sponsorship. And if not, we are a non-for-profit broadcaster, so your gift is tax deductible. With less sponsors, we have to cut back on how many games or events done, and if that number drops too low, then we have to make other changes. So we would appreciate and look forward to the opportunity to get your business, church, or yourself involved. Contact us to find out more by calling 417-451-5636 or go to kneo.org and contact us there. We will follow up.
The Freeman Family YMCA is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Serving the four-state area, the Freeman Family Y believes in putting Christian principles into practice through programs, building a healthy spirit, mind, and body. With 2 locations to serve the area in Grove, Oklahoma, and Neosho, the Freeman Family Y open 5:30 to 9 Monday through Saturday, 1 to 5 on Sunday. For more information, you can go online to ymcaswmo.org or call us at 417-455-9999.
Americans have a big healthcare problem. Over 100 million citizens carry medical debt while spending on overpriced and complicated health insurance. As Christians, we don't have to pay for a broken system. Christian Healthcare Ministries is a faith-based alternative to health insurance at half the cost. Plus, you can enroll at any time. Stand up to insurance and join CHM today.
Welcome back. Neosho Wildcats win it by a score of 5-1. Cooper Charlton gets the win, and Jack Goodell gets the save. There was 1 run given up in the 7th inning, and that was an unearned run. Neosho pitchers held Pittsburg to 2 hits while they collected 4 of their own. But, Matt, the moral of the story is base running, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, they're very aggressive on the base, and that's what wins the games once you get on the bases. So it's just aggressive running. It's about all you can call it.
Yeah, very much so. Drake Jennings, a leadoff hitter, comes into his own. He has a couple of hits and comes around and scores twice. Others that scored were a base running person for Woodward, and then Cooper Charlton hits a double and helps himself out as he continued to bat in the lineup, and then he came around and scored also, and then Logan Hearns with a real heads-up play scores from second base on a ground ball to first base. So the Cats did a really, really nice job. It was a good ball game, and they treated the fans here to a great, great ball game. The JV ball game is getting ready to start here in just a few minutes. We are going to wait for Coach Kilgore, and he'll be over here. While we're waiting on him, we will tell you the post-game show is being brought to you by Harvest Bank of Neosho. I believe in the power of serving others. From small businesses to agriculture, whether you're looking for someone to help manage your mortgage or an expert in wealth management, we got you covered. You deserve a financial partner who cares and can help you reach your financial goals. Harvest Bank proud to call Neosho home. Looks like that we will have a couple of people come up here in just a few minutes, so we'll take another time out and we'll be right back. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
This is Pastor Barry Reel from the First Free Will Baptist Church of Neosho. Though our culture seems to be rejecting the idea of truth, we remain committed to obeying God's Word by speaking the truth in love. We would love to share God's truth and love with you. We're located at 960 Burr Crossing Road in Neosho, and we meet on Sunday mornings at 10:45 a.m. and then again on Sunday and Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Find us on Facebook at First Free Will Baptist Neosho or call 918-413-5465.
Want to know what your home is worth? Stop by to get a free competitive market analysis with Show Me Real Estate of Neosho. They're proud to serve the Neosho area and will stay with you every step of the way, whether you're buying or selling. a family-owned business for over 25 years, Show Me Real Estate of Neosho. 417-451-1700 or by email at gkitchen.showmerealestate@gmail.com. Home of the Happy Campers.
Okay, and welcome back. We're at the post-game show, and we've got a couple of guys up here. Thank you for coming up. Who are you?
Cooper Charlton.
Cooper Charlton. I knew that.
Yep.
Yeah, Cooper, you did a great job.
Thank you.
Had 8 strikeouts.
Yeah.
And it worked out well for you. You were the guy last year that was a hard luck guy. I mean, you came in a varsity ball game and struck out the side and hurt your arm right after that.
Yep.
So rehab's been going well for you, obviously.
Yeah, I finished up in January, and then I've been back ever since.
Yeah, so it's been great. What do you think about this ball club?
I think we're going to do big things this year. I think we're going to go out there, win a bunch of ball games, and go long ways.
Well, tell me a little bit about Florida. How did you feel about a Florida trip?
We did pretty good. We had a rough game Friday night. We played in the rain, the mud. It was just a rough game all around. But other than that, we played really good. We hit the ball.
Yeah. I don't know how many pitches you throw. Did anybody tell you?
73.
73. Well, and you can throw 115, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so you can still throw some more along the way.
I was ready to keep going out there.
Yeah, defense was backing you up well, weren't they?
Yeah, they were.
It really was, and it's kind of fun to get out there and throw that off-speed curveball that guys just look at and can't believe it.
And it just keeps going.
Yeah, congratulations on a great win.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Let's get this guy over here for just a minute or two. Well, you came around and scored twice, didn't you? We're talking about Jennings. Mm-hmm. Drake Jennings.
Yes, sir.
You got 2 hits, came around and scored twice on him. Tell me something about this ball club and their desire to get on base and be aggressive.
Oh, man, if one of us get on base, we get so hyped. And then if that happens, I believe in my guys. We believe in us to score us around and get us around to home plate no matter what.
And that happened tonight. I mean, we only had 2 or 3 hits. Of course, you had 2 of them. But getting on base and doing the things we did, what about Hearns scoring from second base on a routine ground ball?
Oh, man, that boy is quick. And a freshman doing that is so impressive. And Colton able to get that hit right where the third baseman was going away from, which is perfect, and him staying up on the ground and going around third to score.
Well, it really was. It was an exciting ball game all the way around. So you come back home, you get in front of your hometown crowd, and then you're going to go to the Bill O'Dell tournament, right?
Yes, sir.
And you come back and do well after that. And what a great opportunity to play teams that you wouldn't normally play, because when COC comes around, it's tough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, congratulations on a great game. Let me talk to the coach over here just a minute or two. I want to hear what he has to say.
Mm-hmm.
So, Coach, come on over here.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you. Well, we almost had a shutout, didn't we?
Well, you know what? A win is a win, and we'll take them every time, no matter how we get them.
Yeah, I tell you, one of the things that we can say about the Keith Kilgore era that's in its second year, we get on base, we're aggressive.
Well, we got to be. And, you know, and that's what one of our goals would be, is to score 1 run per inning and get them in scoring position. And, you know, the big inning is going to be difficult, you know, so we take pride in 1 run per inning. And, you know, we did a good job of that today. We had some good team at-bats. You know, we sacrificed some people over. We capitalized on, you know, some mistakes. And then, you know, we had, you know, the right hit at the right time. And, you know, and those are hard to come by. So this group is bought into team. And, you know, and that's going to be the approach.
Cooper Charlton, that little curveball he's got that's almost, it almost rolls up to the plate. That's becoming a go-to pitch, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, and from the extensive injury that he had from a year ago, and we're doing everything that we can to protect him. And, you know, he gave us 73 pitches in 5 innings. I thought he was very efficient. And he just, until he gets his velo back, he's going to have to keep him, off balanced.
Yeah, Jack came in and did what he needed to do. I mean, we gave up a run in the last inning, but he came in and shut him down well, too.
Yeah, he made it interesting in the last inning, but you know what? He's a competitor, and, and I trust him. This team trusts him, and, and that was proven in Florida that when we give him the ball, he's going to go and compete even when he may not have his best stuff. So, looking back offensively, there's things, throughout the game that we can build on and be positive about. Offensively, 10 Ks, that's got to improve. And, and I thought down in Florida, we swung the bats really well, had some timely hits, and we were aggressive at the plate. And that's something that we got to continue to do. So I thought we were a little passive at times tonight, but take your hat off to, the kid from Pittsburg. I mean, he had good velo, and he was commanding the zone with strikes.
Well, he seemed to be, didn't he? Yeah. So where do we go from here?
Well, we got 3 more games to play this week. We got Friday with Truman and Oak Park, and then we'll play Olathe West on Saturday. And all 3 teams are historically good programs. So, that's one thing that we can say is we have seen some quality opponents early. We're finding out what we're about. In Florida, it was not only about playing games, it was about creating a team culture and relationships and buy-in. And I would just tell you that we got to keep building off that and find areas that we can improve because the schedule is only going to get tougher.
Yeah, it is. And one of the things about it, we played these kind of teams early in the season. Then we hit the COC gauntlet, and we know those guys. We know them pretty well.
Well, and I would tell you in Florida, we faced a team with a Vandy commit. We faced 2 teams that won over 20 games a year before. And we had a extra inning, 11-inning game against a Florida team in South Fork that already had 16 games in. They started February 1. So they were a little more seasoned than we were. And to walk away from there 4-1, I know we felt good out of the gate. And now we just got to continue that momentum. And let me tell you, Pittsburgh is going to beat some people.
Yeah, I think they will, but this is a different team. There's 2 names on this team that I remember from last year,
right.
And that was it. We've got a whole new infield. We basically rebuilt everything, and, Drake was out there with us last year. He did some pinch running, too, along the way.
Yeah.
We have got some speed.
We do, and that's where, we got to capitalize on that. When we get base runners on, we got to be aggressive. We got to be able to hit and run and move runners. One of our goals, that we set per game, they know with a certain amount of outs, we got to have a runner at a certain base. And, so they're trained, they understand that. We got to capitalize on what our strengths are. Like you said it, we have 3 guys back with varsity experience from last year. And so we got a lot of new faces. They're learning and understanding the speed of the game from a varsity level. And, and we'll see a lot of plus velo, and that timing will come. So very proud to be where we're at. Great start, not content. We got to continue to work to get better.
Well, the JV went to Florida too, and they were 1 and 2, right?
That's correct.
Talk about them for just a minute or two.
And they had one game where we just didn't compete. And then they bounced back and found a way to get a win. And then had another close ball game that they didn't come out on the right side of the scoreboard, but, just an opportunity to go to Florida, play 8 games in 3 days is asking a lot of our kids. 8 games in 3 days, it's asking a lot of our coaches. But, they bought into it. They understood what the importance would be, what gains we needed to make from making a 23-hour bus trip. So, we're going to look back and say it was well worth it, and we're just going to keep after and keep grinding.
All right, well, congratulations. I know you don't want to hear this, but this ball club's going to be entertaining.
Well,
it's going to be a lot of fun.
We want it to be that way, and we want them to have fun, but also understand that we got a job to do and just continue to work. So, and we got a great group of kids. I mean, they are bought in, they're coachable, they have the right, approach and mindset, and it's fun for an old dog like me to go out there every day and get after it. So the sky's the limit for this group.
Yeah, it absolutely is. We look forward to watching them play, Coach.
All right.
Thanks so much.
Go Cats.
Appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely. That's going to wind it up for us here today. Neosho Wildcats win a ball game 5-1 over the Pittsburg Purple Dragons. JV is getting ready to start up, but like I said, JV went down to Florida and they got into some competition. They won one, lost a couple. They're finding out about who they are as well. But Matt, I tell you, we got some speedsters, don't we?
Yeah, and it was fun to watch tonight.
It was pretty exciting to see some of those freshmen come in as courtesy runners and show that we've got some speed as well.
Yeah.
So the Cats moved to 5-1. We will be with you again when they come back home on the 31st. So until we see you again, for Matt and myself, John, go Cats!
This has been a live production of KNEO Sports. This broadcast may not be reproduced or retransmitted without the express written consent of KNEO Sports Network. This has been a sporting outreach of KNEO Sports Network, reaching into communities to make a difference for eternity.